I'm Ed Rainaldi, and I was one of the 3 founders of Hanlin Rainaldi Construction. Hanlin Rainaldi Construction started, in a sense, because Grant Douglas wanted to buy a construction company. I was able to introduce Grant to Mike Hanlin, who owned Hanlin Industries at the time, and they were able to put a purchase deal together whereby Grant Douglas bought Hanlin Industries, and Mike Hanlin and I then purchased shares of that company to form what we now have as Hanlin Rainaldi Construction. So in order to grow our company, we needed capital, we needed sales, and we needed good clients. And in order to service those clients, we needed people. We needed self-motivated, smart, talented people that were willing to learn, because we hired and trained and grew some of our people. We would hire a carpenter, he would become a superintendent, and then a project manager. Some of our people stayed with us, some moved on to other companies, some started their own companies, but the best one stayed and bought our company.
I'm Sean Suttle, President, Hanlin Rainaldi Construction. I joined Hanlin Rainaldi Construction in 2005. Very easy to remember because the same year I got married. Got introduced to Ed through his nephew, John Ignash, who came to my wedding. He was an old college friend, and at the wedding, Amanda had a table that said, "This is what we're doing." Sean's, finishing up construction management at Ohio State. And so John tracked me down and said, "Oh, I work at Hanlin Rainaldi. They're super busy. You should come meet Ed." 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, come in, meet Ed. Got offered a position as assistant estimator. I would reach out to subcontractors if they agreed to bid on a project. We'd order drawings. We'd put them out on the credenza, and they would come pick them up. So in 2022, it's sending a link, look at the drawings. Back then it was come pick up the drawings, we'll provide them for you. So there's a little more face-to-face interaction, which suited me really well because I like meeting people, talking to people, and it actually, it held those people accountable. You were giving them a set of drawings instead of just a computer link, so you expected something in return for giving them those drawings. And so at that time, Ed was in charge of the estimating department, and that's where I learned, that's where I probably learned the most about construction, because Ed broke down every single trade. If it was carpentry, he broke it down to how many nails a guy was using. If it was electric, it was how many wire nuts does he have in his bid. But at the time, you would think that process is tedious. Why are we looking at all these little quantities? But what it really was an education on how to bid a job and looking at all the details and really being dialed in to what the project was, what the client wanted. And at the time, again, it seemed tedious, but what a service to the client, right? Like, you were going the extra mile to really make sure they had the best price for their project. And that really, in a nutshell, sort of sums Ed Rainaldi up, right? He is, he delivers the best possible service to all of his clients. The company was pretty much a well-oiled machine when we bought it. At the time, Grant sold it to Jeff Stevens and myself. Jeff had been working here longer than I had. We were sort of coming out of the recession, and it was like, yeah, let's buy the company. It seems like a good idea. Now, of course, we did some due diligence and, tried to understand what the numbers were, but nothing can prepare you for running or owning your own company than actually doing it. And, again, Grant Douglas, Ed Rainaldi were there with us every step of the way. In the early years when we bought it, Ed's still, obviously in the building. Grant's a phone call away as a mentor, but I don't think you realize the amount of work, effort, I say stress, even though I try not to stress too much about anything. You don't realize how much time and effort goes into running a company until you actually do it. When we took it over, our main focus was to stay within the central Ohio, Columbus area. And the reason for that is there was so many cool entrepreneurs and businesses that were popping up all over town, and us being a newer business or new ownership, we really connected with that. So that was sort of who we felt comfortable working with, and there was so many opportunities within that space, whether it was a new restaurant owner, a new salon owner, a new gym owner, and we got to work with all those people who live in Central Ohio, make it their home, and want to give something back to the community. So we started off just staying local, and we did that for a couple of years and sort of got our feet under us again and started building a little more growth. And as that happens, maybe one of your clients is going to build out of state. So, Vertical Adventures, perfect example. We, did their building here on Kings Mill, and then they built a new gym in State College, PA. So we followed them out there. And much the way I think Hanlin Rainaldi grew when Ed, Mike, and Grant started it in the 90s, we sort of did the same thing. And it might not have been a page out of their playbook we took intentionally. It just sort of happened organically.
When I think of the future of this company, I think that is in the capable hands of Sean and the company that he has built around him. We have a great core of people in this company, a good source of clients, and a reliable source of subcontractors who are vitally important to do what we say we are doing for the customer.
The future of our company comes down really to a simple formula. Hire the best people, work with the best clients, and deliver to those clients what we say we're going to deliver. Doing that will ensure the next 30 years are even more successful than our past 30 years. We're excited about the future.